Okay. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm pretty sure my thing is working because I checked it. I actually did check it today. But alright, welcome in everybody. I actually forgot my drink across the room, so I might have to stand up and go get it. I completely forgot that I had it, but hi, welcome in everybody. Welcome in. I see Owls has done his Stardust today. And I also saw that you resubbed yesterday. Congrats on... Let's see, how much was it for? Hold on. 9 months. Congratulations on that, dude. Let me stand up and grab my drink from across the room. I'm not really afraid to stand up anymore. Maybe I'm drinking to myself. I don't know. It's great. You can actually do it. Okay. Alright, and I'm sticking my blanket on my lap. Alright. So, for those of you who are tuning in and everything, I do in fact have a Ko-Fi now. My brother Ember urged me to hold on. Oh. For building, since we're building today. Ember told me that I should do a Ko-Fi because it's a pretty safe way to go with that, and I can always use the extra money. So he was like, yeah, you should definitely do a Ko-Fi. I'm like, oh, okay. Because I've seen other people, other like, streamers and everything, they've had it, and I was just like, oh, okay. But I never really thought about doing it myself, so. Okay. So, I would like to work on maybe the roof today, but I also really want to finish this over here. Because we've got all this kind of just exposed, and I'm not sure, I don't think we're using any other of this space. I think it really just needs to be closed off. Honestly, like... There you go, buddy. Alright. Okay, yeah, I really need to stick some of this in a chest somewhere. Bet, alright. So, like I said, we're just gonna be building today. I'm not sure what all we're gonna be building today. I'm just gonna maybe try to find something. I might like, I don't know, I might stick. I wonder like if I could stick some, maybe, I don't know. Let me take a look and see what we've got down here real quick. So it would be above the thingy right here, the power plant, if we were to put anything in here. And I mean, we've got the server room, and I don't know if that's just gonna be completely IT. I know this up here is gonna be like, inventory and stuff. Like, I gotta put some computers and like filing stuff up here for that. With like the supervisor's deck and everything. I mean, I know I want to put like bedrooms and dorms and stuff like underground somewhere. With that. Oh shit. Okay. So I'm not entirely sure what I want to put up there. I might just... Oh, God, I like made it through and then I just... There we go. I'm too fast, man. It wouldn't be very high of a... Well, he can re-download that stuff some other time. Now I apparently gotta clean all of it up. Okay. I'm not sure. Oh, yeah, I see. Okay, so I think I do want to maybe point this, but then like have it kind of up and down and back up again. Like kind of how it is over here, you know? How we've got like that kind of, yeah, stuff like that. I'm not entirely sure how tall this is supposed to go. I'm pretty sure that's the reactor. Alright. So, until I get some questions in chat, I actually ended up thinking ahead. Be so proud of me, you guys. But I actually thought ahead to perhaps doing, like, sub prots. Like, I pulled up some conversation prots on my other monitor, right? And so I think maybe it'd be good to maybe start with that just to kind of get something, you know, going with that conversation, like so we're not like sitting in silence and everything. Because as long as I have something to talk about, I can talk while I'm doing it. It's just coming up with the stuff to talk about is the difficult part. First though, maybe have it go up and then down right over there, and then up, down, something like that. Yeah, I think we can do that. Okay, so now that I know what I'm doing here, I think I saw blackstone in here, like blackstone bricks. Those are deep slate tile. Do I use deep slate tile or is it still blackstone bricks? It is in fact blackstone bricks. Okay. I thought so. stone, black stone, black stone. Just in case. And just in case. Alright. So let's pull one up. Somebody. Okay. I don't know, some of these are kind of. I don't know a lot of these things. Okay. I said I came somewhat prepared because I pulled up the questions, but the thing is I didn't actually look through the questions. It's like, well, okay, I'm not gonna go with these. Okay, so these are some funny ones. I guess we can just go down. I guess we can just go down these. So, okay. Okay, so this one's like not funny. Like some of these are either gonna be funny or deep, but they're good questions. They're not boring like the one I was just on. All right. Okay. So first question is, and some of you guys feel free, absolutely feel free to answer if you think that you have like some sort of an answer for it. Like absolutely go right ahead and do it. Okay, let me, here we go. Oh, sup nerd, welcome in. We're just about to do some Q&As. I pulled up a bunch of questions and everything for us to go through. Like, I'm gonna answer some questions just so that way we can keep some conversation going. Because I know with, like, Q's and A's and stuff, and, like, streams where I'm building and everything, like, it's not quite as, you know, it's not quite as, conversational. Just because I will get focused if I don't have something specific or someone to talk to, you know? And I'm gonna work on that, and this is actually me working on it because, you know, we got questions, and so anybody in the chat is free to pop in with any questions that they want to ask. And it could be about anything you'd like. Something about me, something about my channel, something you want to tell yourself, any advice, what is my favorite ice cream, you know, stuff like that. What is the meaning of life, that whole thing, that sort of thing. So, just about anything. Anything we want. So this first one is, because I've got a website of stuff that of like questions that I just pulled up. And anybody in the chat is welcome to answer this if they would like. As a matter of fact, it's encouraged. So, okay. It says, what is your favorite thing about being alive? Now, for someone with chronic, pretty severe depression, it's really, really hard for me to say, but I'm gonna try and find a little bit of joy and stuff, you know? So, I am quite fond of food. I don't like... Yeah, the first one is existential. Definitely. I definitely like, you know, Um, I like food. I really, really like potatoes. I am Irish through and through. And I've always been Irish through and through. I have the red hair to prove it, alright. um, so yeah. I really like being able to be there for the other people who have to suffer through existence. I like being able to see things. I really like color. Even though I myself like to dress in black, I really like color. And even though my favorite color is white. Believe it or not. But I love color. I like being able to look up at the stars. Because those are some of my favorite things. Because there's... and a lot of you already know that, like... I am very, very, very connected to the stars in more ways than one. And that's why it's my whole thing. And only started to be my whole thing after I started deconstructing from religion. But yeah. I like being able to experience happiness and excitement. And sometimes pain is really good because it only makes you a lot more appreciative, and it makes the happy times so much more potent. And it makes you appreciate them more, I guess. I suppose. What about you? Doo-doo-doo. I'm gonna take a drink real quick. Give you a chance if you want to answer yourself. Alright. So, I'm gonna skip the next one because that one's one of the boring ones. And I'm gonna skip the one after that. Being able to eat and share food. I like being able to share food with people too. Except potatoes. I won't share potatoes. Sorry. Like, ever. Here's one. What would your job be in prison? Yeah, yeah, I got to thinking about this. I got off track, backpedaling just a little bit. I'm very, very Irish in my surname. Like, my mother's maiden name is very Irish, and so, like, with, it's seriously, like, a saying in our house that, like, actually, I don't know why I'm breaking this. Because I'm going the opposite way with the other roof, but that scared me. Welcome in Magic. We're doing existential crisis. We're doing existential questions. Okay. So it's a saying, it's a literal saying in our house that, like, you can't be insert surname here if you don't like taters. That's literally what we say. And we've said it since I was, like, literally a child. That works. So, let me do this real quick. So yeah, this next question, what would your job be in 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 prison? Now, I want to know whether they mean if you got locked in prison, like if you were an inmate, like what your job would be, because I know inmates have jobs, or like if you got a job at a prison. That's kind of an open-ended one, because like what do you mean? Which one do you mean? I would probably be locked in solitary confinement because I kept stabbing the other inmates. Like, what do you mean job? Like, for real. I mean, seriously, let's be real here. Alright. What about you guys? Do you like to cook, nerd? What's your favorite thing to cook? Or like, okay, let me narrow that down. What's your favorite entree to cook? I know that's like a pretty broad question to not specify like what kind of food, you know? Like I get it. So, do ah, do you know the perfect amount of noodles to put in the water? Or do you have the same issue as the rest of us, either putting in enough, either not even putting in enough for one person, or putting in enough to feed your entire neighborhood? Ah, yes, making bread. Bread is good. Bread is wonderful. Bread is the food of life. Love me some bread. Anybody who knows me will tell you I absolutely love making potato soup. I make a mean pot of potato soup. I actually enjoy making it. It's so tedious in the beginning, but my recipe, I like my recipe. It's so good. Do do do. Okay. Hmm. Yeah, I'll curve it around like that. Actually, that works because this is all one big thing. So yeah, I'll do that. I can do that. That works. Okay. Let's see. Let's look at another question. Well, I can't tell that story on stream. Or that one. uh. Yeah. uh. Okay, here's another existential one. Here's another existential one. If you could wave a magic wand, what is one thing that you'd be able to change about your life? I might have to think about this for a second. Because I know the first thing I would change, but that's not necessarily something to do with my life specifically, because it affects everybody. And I don't think the magic wand would be powerful enough for that. Because I would just do away with capitalism and patriarchy. Shit. But that's just me. There we go. If I were to change one thing about me specifically, I would take away my disabilities. I would take away all of them. Because they're all screwing me so bad. I have to figure out what I'm doing back here. Like, I would make it to where my joints were sound and that I'm not, you know, developing arthritis at 23. I would absolutely tear apart my OCD. Like, I wouldn't have it in the first place. Because it's so, so bad. I've got the right idea here. I just need to actually execute it well. I think those would be the like the biggest things. I would make it to where I wasn't so. And I might suspect I have a mild form of muscular dystrophy. I'm not 100% sure. I need to actually go see a doctor about it. But I might. Because it's common with people with. It's also common with people who have EDS, and I do have EDS. So I need to, like, actually go see someone about it. I need to get my testing done so I can actually do that. But I don't want to shell out all the extra money that would take to do it, too, so. Well. But yeah, I would just heal myself, basically. Because I'm getting screwed in every single way because of them. So, I need a break. I would just yeet all of it.
I steal cheese! You can't catch me!
I didn't even see you come in. Hi, how are you doing? We're doing existential questions. Well, some of them are existential, some of them are what would be your job in prison. Anyway, so, okay, next question. Where have you enjoyed traveling or visiting? Now, I know I've talked about it occasionally on stream, but it's also been a long time since I have. And I don't think I've told many of my newer viewers about the stuff either. But I spent a summer in Europe when I was 15 because my dad was in the Air Force when I was growing up. And he kept getting deployed like everywhere. So one of the places that he got deployed to was Europe. And so he got stationed in Germany. Alright. I'll hold off for a little bit on this. I do not mind doing that. Yeah, I don't mind waiting. There we go. How you doing, subs? Doing pretty good. How's your day been going? All right. Oh, I don't know. I don't like. It says I still got a minute of ad break over here, so I literally have no idea when the ads really start and when they really end. So, I mean, maybe it varies from person to person, I don't know. But anyway, so I got to spend a summer in Germany, but we went to a couple different countries while I was up there. So I have a couple of really, really fun stories from there. My favorite place that I went to, well, okay, I can't really choose a favorite because I really liked all of them, but, so, I got a couple of really funny stories. So, well, one, we went to Brussels, and Brussels, like, I wanted to move there. Whenever I was 15, I wanted to move there, and I still kind of want to move there, because it's such a gorgeous city. It's, like, where the UN is and everything, like, I really, really liked my time there. Because we went and we spent the weekend. We rented like an apartment and then we went and stayed there. And so yeah, we were there for a weekend, and well, one of 3 stories from there. The first night we got there, we settled into the apartment. And then we went for a walk because we weren't too far from the Plaza Square, which I think that's what it's called. I don't actually remember the official name of it, but it's like literally Brussels, like square. It was like their square plaza. And we went and we got actual Belgian waffles because they sell like street waffles. And so I went over there and we got some slushies too. But there was this guy that was singing songs on the corner. Into a mic, and he had his, case open, like a movie, basically, because I don't get to see that kind of thing here in Oklahoma. so it was definitely a new experience for me, at least. And he was singing, and so my little sister, she was 8 at the time. ended up, my dad and my stepmom were like, yeah, if you guys want to go and listen, we can sit here for a little bit and just listen to it, because, you know, we didn't have anything else to do except walk around and sightsee, you know? And so we did. We ended up sitting on the bricks, because, like, all the streets are bricks. And we just watched him for a while, and then when we finished the song, we went and we put a couple euro in his case. And I walk up to him, and this guy, I wasn't sure how old he was. He didn't look too much older than me, but he ended up winking at me. I mean, he was cute, you know? Like I said, he wasn't, like, that much older than me. At most, like, maybe, like, 3-ish years. Something like that. So not very old. But that was pretty cool. I mean, 15-year-old me hadn't gotten a whole lot of attention from anybody in that way, so... Because I was, you know, kept at home for a majority of my teen years, so... So that was pretty neat, but... And then another story, we were walking in the square, because that was the day we, like, really went and sightsaw. The plaza that's up there's, like, this huge building that's, like, a really, really popular wedding venue, where people like to get married. And there were 3 different weddings that we saw when we were there, and one of them was gay. It was awesome. It was, I want to say 2 grooms that had gotten married, and I was like, oh my god! Like, at the time I was just like, wow, that's wild, because, you know, I was kept at home, I was very conservative back then, so I didn't, like, hate it, but at the same time, I had never really seen much like that before. Nowadays, I'm just like, oh, that's so cool! But, you know. And then the third one, we were headed to go home, I think the next day, and we were standing outside the office to turn our key in, and so my dad went in, and it was just the rest of us sitting out, like, we were standing outside the door with all of our stuff. Well, this guy walks by, a little bit older, this guy walks by. Oh! 10 month streak! Congratulations, Owls! You've made it into the double digits, and you're the first one to do so! Thank you so much for your continuous support. I appreciate it so much. Thank you. Anyway, so we
knock,
were...
Knock! It's the United States with the air support!
So we were standing outside this office, and on the street. It was in one of the smaller streets. It would be kind of like an alley type thing to us, but, this guy walks by who's a little bit older, and he sees us, knows we're tourists, like, could tell that we're tourists. And I only saw him out of the corner of my eye, but I was kind of watching him in my periphery. And he starts walking up to us. Like, kind of Pink Panther-like. I turn around fully and I face this guy. And he suddenly veers off course and starts walking the other way. So I think we almost got mugged. On our way out. I mean, big European cities like that, you got a lot of pickpockets. Like, if you haven't had the opportunity to go watch Americans beating up European pickpockets at the Olympics, I would recommend doing so. It's actually so funny. Americans don't play around. Let's see. I remember being... Okay, so something I learned about my dad and my sister while we were up there, one of my sisters, not my littlest sister, but the slightly older one. Like the middle sister, basically. So I learned while I was in Europe that my dad and my sister are afraid of heights. Now, that's ironic because my dad was in the Air Force for 21 years, and he was literally an air traffic controller, so he was up in, like, those tall towers and everything. So, we went to, for the 4th of July, we were planning on going on a week-long road trip to France, and, like, going to Paris, going to Normandy, you know, that type of thing, but with my grandma. But then my grandma, like, ended up having some heart issues, And so we didn't want to go on the road with it. So we then decided to instead, because my pawpaw came up too, we decided instead to go spend a weekend at in Switzerland. Because it was between Switzerland and Austria, and I wanted to go to Austria, but I was okay with Switzerland too. Because everything is like a really close drive. Like I could drive across the state in the same time you can drive across the whole country over there, right? But yeah. So we ended up going to Switzerland. And we went to the mountains. We got a chalet in the mountains. It was like a chalet and it had just like a bunch of apartments in it, so we got one of the apartments. Let me in. Okay. So we ended up, staying in one of those. And so one of the things that drew us to that area was the fact that it wasn't too far from the Matterhorn. Like you could look at, we went to the top of a mountain where it was close enough that you could actually see the peak of the Matterhorn, which is literally Italy. And we also really wanted to go on the Alpine coaster that they had, and then walk on the glacier that they had, because they had one of those too. And so we got to like sled down that a lot when we got to the peak of the mountain. But one of the things that it boasts, like the place that we went to boasts, is that it had a rope bridge. Not like a complete rope bridge, it was more wires and metal. Like, it was secure, it wasn't like one of those you see in like an old movie or whatever. On like an island or something. It was like a legitimate like bridge, but it was suspended. I think they said like 50, 100 feet up in the air. I don't actually remember how far up it was. But to get to like the actual peak of the mountain, you had to cross it. And it was a very, very narrow bridge. Like, this is how narrow it would be. Like, you could barely fit 2 people across from it. You had to be pretty skinny to get across it anyway. Like, it seriously, like, was not very, very wide at all. But my dad, he ended up getting cold feet because the rest of us wanted to go. Now, I like heights a lot because it makes me feel like I'm flying, and I like to feel like I'm flying. Obviously because of all the wing stuff. But, me, being the little shit I am, and exacting revenge on my sister from hogging a bed when we went to Brussels, because we went to Brussels and she ended up hogging the single bed and made me share with my other sister 2 times because she's a diva. And always has been. But me being the little shit that I am, we get on this bridge, one after the other, and we're walking in a line, right? And there's a couple other people on the bridge. I don't even remember how many at this point because it was just so long ago. But we got onto the bridge, and I'm feeling a little mischievous. And so this bridge is a little swingy, right? Not like a ton swingy, but it is a little bit. Because, I mean, it's a heavy bridge, you know? And as we're walking across this bridge, I grab the sides like you're supposed to do, and I put my feet a little bit wider than you're supposed to put them. And I start gently trying to rock the bridge back and forth while we're suspended however many feet up in the air in the mountains. While my sister was also on this bridge. Now, it wasn't gonna break because I'm one person and it's a really, really heavy bridge. Like, it was fine. Like, I wouldn't have done it if it was gonna be dangerous, you know? Because, I mean, they have to account for, like, so much weight and everything. And I was a scrawny little 15-year-old. So, I wasn't gonna break it or anything. But I start rocking it slightly back and forth. And my sister doesn't realize it's me, and I don't think she knows, and I don't think she'll ever know. And she's too cool to watch any of my streams anyway. So, like, she grabs on. I know it sounds horrible for me to do, and it's horrible for me to be laughing at now, but I don't care. I really don't. I wouldn't be laughing at it if it was going to be a dangerous situation, and if she wasn't, so, you know. But I was a little shit, you know? And I still hadn't really grown out of my mischievous phase at 15. So, we did that. Oh, god. Alright. Let's see. Oh. So there's no drinking age in Europe, right? At least in Germany. Like, there's no official drinking age, but there is an age that you have to be to purchase. So we went to, there was this little Greek restaurant that was in the town that we lived in. And of course it was run by Greek people, so it was authentic, right? And they spoke some English. Like, they spoke English, but they had a very, very thick accent. Greek accent, you know? And so we go to eat at this place a couple times. And the thing is, like I said, there's no drinking age. I was 15. I was 1 year shy of, not even 1 year, I literally turned 16 later that year. But actually within a matter of months, because my birthday's in August. But, so the owner of this restaurant liked to give away free licorice shots. He liked to do it because he felt like it was, you know, good for business. He felt like it would be good to make the people that came to his restaurant feel, you know, welcome, feel like it's a good space, feel like, you know, that they belong there. And I'm only guessing the reasoning, but that's what I would figure. So he would like to give out free shots of licorice. And if you don't know what licorice is, it's basically Greek vodka, but like sweet. It's very good. And I actually been craving some because, like I said, it's good. But we end up, you know, going to this restaurant, and the guy's like, here, try some. Now, it wasn't the first little bit of alcohol I'd ever had, but I think it might have been, like, maybe the second time, because I had tried wine before that, I think. But he's like, here, have some, and my dad's like, it's okay, go ahead, like, because the rules are different over there, right? And they knew I wasn't gonna be, like, annoying with it, or whatever, I guess. And so, I end up trying Greek licorice at the owner's, you know, insistence, right? And I end up doing several of these. I was a 15-year-old, and I was not an experienced drinker. And I think you can probably see where this is going. Now, that was a great night. And I loved going to that restaurant because their food was so good. But that was quite an experience for 15-year-old me who had been in a cult at this point in time. So... so, yeah. Most of it. I've got Irish blood, but, like, I do, like, okay, so, okay, I remember going home, and I remember, you know, being at home, like, I remember the drive home, because I remember being very, very giggly. And I remember, you know, the rest of the meal and everything, and them laughing, and us eating, like, the artichoke hearts that they made, and everything. But the rest of the night, like, I don't remember because it's been so long, not because I wasn't able to remember, you know? I didn't get, like, blackout or anything. More often than not, when I am drunk, I do remember because I've got a pretty high tolerance, and I always have. It's really weird. But I've always had a pretty high tolerance for it. And so, like, it didn't affect me as much as it could have. But it's still a really, really funny thing to recall. Just because it's so wild. Let's see, what would be another good one to tell from that? There was that time I got drunk in Paris. Now, we went and we spent a weekend in Paris, too, because it was, like, right before we were gonna leave to come back to the States. And so we ended up going to Paris for the weekend. We spent a day and a half in Paris, and then we went to Versailles the next day on our way back to Germany. Is this? Okay, it is. Alright. Never mind. And so, okay, I am losing my train of thought. Bruh. Anyway, so we went to Paris, and we spent, you know, the first day we went there, we actually ended up getting, like, a campsite, because you can get, like, campsites in the city, and it's, like, way cheaper than trying to get an apartment there, because, or apartment, hotel, you know, whatever there, because, I mean, it's literally Paris, right? So it's expensive. And my dad was on an Air Force salary. Because most of these places we went to, because they were cheap and they were within a certain amount of a drive, you know? And so we ended up meeting this really, really funny British couple. I don't remember what part of the UK they were from. I want to say maybe Liverpoolish, but I'm not sure. So they were like those kind of Brits, you know? And my stepmom ends up getting rosé wine that had like, or maybe it was, I don't know. I don't think it was my grandma. I think it was just so I think at that point in time my grandma had gone home. But my stepmom ends up getting rosé wine, and it had a rose on the bottom of the bottle. It was a really, really pretty bottle. But the thing is, we sit and we start chatting with this couple, right? And this was before we had taken our first trip over the Eiffel Tower, right? And we are, you know, sitting and we're talking to this couple, and we're laughing. And I have a glass of this wine, and it's really good, right? I have a glass of this wine, and I have another glass of the wine, and my stepmom keeps pouring me glasses of that wine, not thinking about it. And I was just like, you know what? I'm okay with this. This is really good. And we're eating croissants from the bakery that we're sitting outside of. And I really like these croissants. We realize that bottle of wine, because I start feeling kind of funny. Because mind you, I had only done a couple shots of that licorice. I start feeling a little funny because I ask, hey, can I please go get another croissant from the bakery? And they're like, yeah. So they give me some euro to go and get some. But I'm walking a little funny. My dad realizes that we're out of wine. And he goes, how did we run out of wine so fast? And then he realizes that my stepmother kept pouring the wine, and she didn't realize it either. And I was just like, yeah, that was really good. So I did a little bit. I at least got kind of buzzed. I don't know that I was drunk, but like I was very buzzed because I remember that night. Like I remember it clear as day because I mean we were in Paris, and at that time I was really obsessed with Paris anyway. Because I still have decorations all over my childhood bedroom that I am literally streaming from now, with Paris decorations like all over the wall. Like I have a giant painting next to my streaming setup of just something in Paris, right? And so I remember that day clearly, very, very clearly. But then I go to get another croissant. I think it was later. I think the croissant thing was actually later. But I go to get a croissant, and it's raining, and I'm walking a little too fast. And I end up slipping and tearing up my shins on this deck that I was trying to step up onto to go inside the bakery. And I destroy my shins doing that. And so guess who had to walk around the entirety of Paris? The entirety of Paris with giant scrapes on my shins. And then also Versailles the next day. So that wasn't fun, but at least I got to see the Notre Dame before it burned down. So, because it was like a year before it burned down. Let's see. Oh, I got one more. I got one more story. So I tell this one. I've told this one before on stream, and I'm gonna tell it again because a lot of these stories I haven't told on stream, but this one I will. But I have, and I'm gonna do it again. So we went to a total of 5 countries while I was there. We went to, of course, Germany. We went to France several times because we ended up planting flags for Memorial Day. At the Lorraine cemetery, which it was like 11,000 flags because my sister was in Girl Scouts and that was like part of her whole thing. Oh, also that summer I got to lead a very, very long campaign of Mafia because I discovered Mafia in middle school, the game Mafia, and I was one of the counselors for the week-long Girl Scout camp that they had. And I got to be like the narrator for a week-long campaign of just Mafia, so these girls were like playing Mafia in their spare time with me. Anyway, that's not the story. So we went to, of course, Germany. We went to France. We went to Switzerland. We went to Belgium, and we went to Luxembourg. Now, Luxembourg is up sort of where Belgium is, for those of you that don't know. But it's really, really small, and it's close to Germany and France. So we would decide we want to go spend the day in Luxembourg City, because it's a really cool city, and there's a lot to do there. And it would just be a fun day trip, because we'd gone to a couple different cities even before that. But we go to Luxembourg City, and we're driving around, and they have parking garages all over, but they all have, like, signs that tell you whether or not there's any vacancy. And this was, like, at lunchtime. We're going around the city, and we can't find a singular parking garage that has a space open. Not one. We can't even find stuff along the side of the road to park. And so we drive around for a good 20 minutes, and we're not able to find any sort of parking space to go to, because I guess it was just so busy. And so we're just like, well, let's just go to France. Which is such a casual thing to say, right? We're just like, yeah, let's just go to France. Because we need to go grocery shopping anyway. And there's like this big, grocery store near the French and German border that we like to get a lot of, like, discount, groceries from. So we just, yep, let's just go to France because we can't go to Luxembourg City. So we do. We end up driving, like, the extra hour and a half. And mind you, most of these car rides that we were going across the countries with, I was playing Subway Surfers because I was very, very much in my Subway Surfers phase. And I'm happy to say I hold a record of my highest run I think that I ever did was like almost 7 million. And I know, like, in a try-hard space, that's not that impressive, but for a casual player space, that would be like, wow. And I had made those records during those car rides that we did. Because I was really, really big into mobile games at the time. It was literally the only thing I had to do, ever. And I didn't have actual service on my phone up until I turned 16. Because it was the first phone that I had that I didn't, that wasn't free and didn't run on minutes. And so we ended up just going to France, just because we couldn't go to Luxembourg City. So, okay. That was a good prompt. What are your guys' traveling stories? I have a bunch of other from a bunch of different places, but I just wanted to talk about that one just because, you know, there was a couple stories that were pretty funny that I hadn't told on stream. And a couple people in stream that wouldn't have known that I've been to Europe before. This was all the way back in 2018 though, so it was a while ago. Doop-de-doo. I'm probably gonna hydrate while I... Oop, whoops, I closed out my... There we go. I'm glad my Ko-Fi bot's working. I got it running once an hour because I don't want to, like, bug too many people about it. Donations. Alright. So, let me think. Oh, are we on ads? Once again, hi subs, how you doing? I think we should go put some boxes in the warehouse. I'm gonna post like a different way to put these that looks a little bit better. I mean, I kind of like how these go, but like, eh. Oops. I wonder if that would be better. Maybe like... This is like maybe handles instead of... This is gonna take forever. I think I'd seriously rather just do this. There, that works. We're back from our ad break. Okay. I really like how creative you can get with these shelves. It's pretty cool. I think it's a great addition to the game. Okay. Let me, as soon as I'm done with this box. Okay. What does this mean? Okay. Here's a good one. I was looking at my my prompts thing. Okay, so this next question says if skill, experience, or capability was not an issue, what would be your profession or job? It's basically an if you could be anything in the world, what would you be? Hmm. Let me think. Oh. I think I'd probably... I have a couple. Two of which I'm wanting to make into a profession. But I'm not sure how well they're gonna work out. I would... Yeah. I think I would probably... I'd want to be an astronaut. Because I'd want to be able to go to space. I'd want to be closer to the stars than any other human had before. Or maybe a professional skydiver. That would be really neat. I'd love to fly. I want to act in movies. I want to. That's not an, oh, if I could be. No, I want to. And I'm still wanting to do it. I just need to have the money to be able to move somewhere where I can. And honestly, I would be perfectly content with life if this was my job. If I could make content, if I could be a streamer. Like, that's just straight up my job. I wouldn't be upset. I would love to make that my actual job. Here we go, got some boxes going. There we go. Alright. What's one thing in your house that you don't think anyone else has? Now, I know that people have at one point had these in their house because they were so popular back when they were new. But I don't think anybody still has one of these, and if they do, they don't use it. But we have my stepdad, whenever my mom and him were broken up for a couple years, bought a 3D TV because he needed a TV and he thought 3D would be pretty cool. And whenever they got back together, we started getting more 3D movies and stuff to be able to watch on it. And they've since fallen very, very much out of trend because they were making people's head hurt. Because, like, it was just a lot to watch. And so they stopped selling the movies, too. And so we couldn't buy 3D movies to go with our 3D TV. But we do, in fact, still have a 3D TV. And we've got 3D movies and surround sound for it. That we purchased over time. We didn't get all of that at once. We didn't have the money to get all that at once, but we did end up getting some more. Because you could also play 3D movies through a PS3. Which he also had. But yeah. So... we do, in fact, have a 3D TV, and I don't believe anybody else has them, and if they do, then they don't use them. Not that we really use ours in either, but, you know. And that's why I say that, is because I don't know that anybody else would actually use theirs. Anything you got in yours? I have no idea. I've never heard of that, so it could be unique. Alright. Have you ever farted in an elevator? Of course who hasn't. And if people say they haven't, you're lying. Okay. If you had to be... This is weird. If you had to be an inanimate object for a day, what would you be and why? That's really random. I'm not sure. I know what specific inanimate object I'd want to be. But I'm not sure you can do a specific one that's already existing. I think it means just, like, a random one, but I'll go ahead and say it anyway, because I can't think of a random one right now. I'd want to be the Voyager spacecraft, the Voyager 1 spacecraft. think there's a pretty obvious reason as to why. It would, yeah. What do you guys think of these boxes, by the way? This was Aze's design. Well, putting the shelves on the outside of these was Aze's idea. The buttons and stuff are mine, but... I can't... Okay. I can't answer that one on stream. Not the question, but like... I came up with an object, but I can't say that. And it's not like bad, it's just... it's just funny, but... let me think. Maybe I'd be a telescope? But like a really, really good one. It would have better eyesight than me, of course. But I think that would be neat, to be like a telescope. Like, that would be literally your only job, is to look up at the sky. To look up at space. That'd be neat. Thank you. Oh, I know, right? It is definitely annoying. Go this way. Do. Damn it. Too many buttons. Okay. I like it. I like it. But I'm getting bored. Because these stuff take so long to do. Okay, let's take a break from that. We at least got a whole shelf done. I guess we can maybe work on the showroom. I'm not sure how. You know what? I know what we need. Do. You know, we should probably, that would be a great idea actually, we should probably put a fence all on this side of the on this side and over here. Because this is gonna be our showroom, which is like public. Okay. So we need to put like a parking lot, I guess, right here. Well, not really even a parking lot, like just a loading spot, like where buyers, you know, come. Yeah, just make sure that's all kind of cleared and everything and ready to, you know, accept people. All right. Need to like actually find the middle bit of this. This right here. Be like do like maybe a glass, like tempered glass, like around here, tinted glass, I guess. Let's see. Because it doesn't matter if people come in and out of here. You know, like that. Okay. Something like that. Oh god, I can't ask that on stream. I like this one. Okay. Okay, here's a question. Get all that's done. Alright. Here's a good question. What are you the most proud of about yourself? Let's do some self-love. I think that's a good idea. What are you the most proud of about yourself? I'd have to think about this one a moment too. I have no idea. Probably do like tinted glass all up and down this, maybe. I think that would look really nice. What am I the most proud of about myself? That's a tough one. Well, first I have to actually think of something to be proud of, I guess. I think I'm the most proud of the fact that I have this weird ability, this really good ability that not a whole lot of people can do as thoroughly, I guess, as I have. I have this ability to bring people together, to create communities that last. I have a lot of friends that I've gotten to know over the past few years that have met because of spaces that I have created. Did I create the spaces by myself? No. Would they still be going if it was just me? No. But I've done it in multiple different ways. I've done it in multiple different places. And there are people who are friends, who are good friends, who only know each other because of me. Because I've got this innate ability to be able to do that, to be able to actually bring people together. And I think that very thing is what helped me get into one of us. Because I am so proud of my spaces. Get out of the way. And I have the determination to keep any space that I have, like, any sort of power in. I can keep those spaces really, really safe. And I can do a good job of making sure that they don't turn into places of disharmony and, like, tensity and, like, places where people aren't comfortable. I am pretty firm in a lot of my rules, and the rules that matter more than others. Like, I could be lax on certain rules, but certain rules I'm not going to be. And I know, like, how to balance that. And I get better at it every day. So, I'm very good at my job of managing social spaces, managing communities. You know, I can do that, and I can do it very well. I know Ian's put a lot of trust in me in that sense, because yeah. Okay, I think I know what to do now. But I'm very protective over any community that I am over. Or in, or, you know, anything. And I will always be confident in my ability to do that. Let me test this. What do we think of this? And I mean, it helps bring in the bluish tint, I guess, to that, so I kind of like it. Anyone in the chat got an answer for that one? What are you the proudest of yourself for? Like, what's the thing you're proudest of yourself? For being, for doing, for having, for knowing, that whole thing. I might just leave it like that, actually. There we go. Nice little walk up to a big factory. Make the outside of all this look nice, of course. Of course, they're gonna keep everything over here nice and green. So let's go ahead and alright, well if nobody has any answers to that one. Let me see if I can't find one. Ah, really? You have to subscribe to this page to read the rest of them. Sorry, I'm reading these questions. Yeah, bots. We don't like bots. I mean, these are really good. They're not as, like, conversation evoking as some of the other ones, but at least some of them. Okay, so the first one that is up on this one that I've got, the subscription. Yeah, sorry, I don't know why I thought you were meaning the bots, I completely forgot. Okay, so the first one, it says, what was the last song you sang out loud and or danced to? I don't remember. So I'm going to substitute that. Yeah, for like think that's a nice, I think this is pretty nice. Maybe nice to prototype a wall. I think this is probably good. I do know which song I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to learn... I thought that would be a good wall. Because we need a wall around this anyway, just so that way, like, people don't think it's good to, like, come in here, I guess. Or an extra defense on trying to get out, you know? Pretty good wall, I think. Nice and, there we go. Keeping people from getting out. Anyway, I do know what song I'm trying to learn. Now, ever since we, I don't know, so ever since we were listening to my Sing playlist while we were working on the bridge, I believe it was one of the streams that we were doing buttons. One of the streams where we were doing the many, many buttons. Because I did at least 2 streams. I think I might have spent a little bit extra time on it, but, like, for the most part, it was, like, 2 streams. Anyway, so... sorry, I gotta tweak this a little bit more. There we go. Oh, whoops. Unless we wanna... Yeah, I like that. That looks good. Alright. So I was singing along, the, Can't Take My Eyes Off of You song by Frankie Valli, I think. I think that's who it's by. I think that's the name. I should know this because I'm into classic music and I just can't. I just, like, names are just so hard for me. And that kind of thing. But I was trying to learn that one because Lacking was like, you're just casually serenading you're just casually serenading Wolfie for us, aren't you? And I was like, haha, yeah. But then I was like, actually, I like the sound of that. So, let's actually, you know, I decided to actually try to learn, because I know most of it. I'm trying to learn, like, the second part of the verse. Because I don't know it all the way. I know most of it. But I've been trying to learn that one. Because I want to actually make that one of our songs. Like, I want to be able to, like, sing that to Wolfie at any time. Like, that just be something I do for them. Yeah. Need to see if I can get some help placing this all over. I need to see about like maybe trying to copy and paste it. Okay. Okay, what is... Here, first you answer the question. You got an answer for it? I suppose it would be, yeah. Just trying to kind of make it look all sunshine and rainbows over here, where it's like, oh, hey, look, a nice little company you can buy all kinds of stuff from. But then, like, you go to the other side, and it's like misery and pollution and death. You know? uh yeah. What's something that surprised you about yourself in the last year? Hmm. take me a second to think too. I have trouble validating myself if that's not obvious. So it's gonna take me a minute to answer myself. Yeah. Let me think. I think I was always really invisible. And still kinda am. In my life. Like, I'm always the one that people don't show up for. I'm the one that is being overlooked a lot. Because I'm not usually the forefront of people's mind. And so I think something that in the last year because I know there was something that I was surprised about, like maybe last year. Maybe I'll talk about that too, but but I never knew how influential of a person that I could be. Like, I knew, like, I had helped people in the past and everything. But I never knew how actually influential of a person I could be until this past year. Especially since I've met the team bidders. Like, especially Ian, you know? Because, let me tell you something. Finding out Techno Dad took the time to make some, like, actual clips for an event that I just had made up the previous year, for a holiday I had made up the previous year. To find that out, and then turn around and have people, like, actively want to participate in it because they think it's the funniest thing ever. And then, like, have people genuinely want to join my community, having people wanting to hear what I have to say, wanting to watch me, wanting to hang out in my spaces. And then, like, actively, you know, taking advice maybe that I give them, or taking to heart some of the validation that I give them in the sheer way that I've done and that they have. That has definitely surprised me. Are we at 2 hours? We are, in fact, at 2 hours. There we go. I guess something that would have surprised me, because it was a little over a year ago that this would have taken place. But I guess something else that surprised me is just how gracious under fire I can be. I'm not gonna get into as to why, but let's just say there was an experience that had happened to me last year that completely changed my outlook on everything. That forced me into a position where I had to, excuse me, hold it together. You know? I think I might make those a little bit longer. About like that. Alright, let me think. Let's see. What's something that you used to be embarrassed about, but now that you think is actually really cool? I think maybe there's not a whole lot that I'm embarrassed about that I have been embarrassed about in the past that I'm actually like proud of now, I guess. But if I was going like about me, I guess, was that I okay, yeah, I'm still having trouble. I got really made fun of when I was in middle school because I made the mistake of telling people, like mentioning in class once, that I can see the future in some of my dreams that I have. It's been an ability I've had since like elementary school. Like I can literally see the future in my dreams. I have before. It's like a really weird reverse deja vu type thing. Because I can sense also when I'm seeing it in my both in my dreams and when I'm out in the real world experiencing the stuff that is coming to pass. And I mean, I've gotten to talk to other people who say they can as well. But I've never, like, And I mean, it's a neat thing to be able to do, and I know not a lot of other people can do it, and so they don't, like, generally like to believe people when they say they can. But that's only because they're stupid and do not know how to do it themselves. Or just straight up can't do it by themselves. Not that they don't know how to do it. I'm not saying people that don't know how to do it are stupid. But you know what I mean. They are stupid and they can't do it, basically. Correlation, not causation. They just happen to be stupid middle schoolers. Oh, hi, Sage. I actually... I remember being embarrassed in school that I really, really liked Ninjago. And still do. Because I used to hang out with a group of weeb-type girls. Like, they were very anime-focused and everything, and they were writing fanfiction, and that's where I got my start on fanfiction, but I was writing Ninjago fanfiction, and they made me feel like I was stupid for doing that. They basically shunned me out of the group when they found that out. So, for a while, I thought it was really embarrassing to have liked it at all. But I ended up later finding out on online spaces just how popular it was with them and just how much they liked it. So I'm not as embarrassed about it now. And as a matter of fact, I absolutely love it when I see another fan, especially in the wild. Oh, sorry, forgot we were on ads. No, I used to get made fun of in school for... Well, not made fun of in school, but, like... I got shunned out of one of my only friend groups in middle school. They were a bunch of anime girls that liked writing fanfiction about anime, and that's where I got my start in fanfiction. But when they found out that I was writing fanfiction about Ninjago, they basically shunned me and were like, ah, we're better than you. So I thought it was really embarrassing to like it. But then when I got older, I heard people, on online spaces, people my age were literally saying how cool the show was and how much they liked it as kids and everything and growing up, because it was like entering its peak when we were in middle and high school. But like it started when I was in elementary school. Well, okay, its peak was mainly in middle school, but yeah. Because I believe I was in 7th grade when the really, really good seasons came out. And so I used to be embarrassed about it, but now it's really cool to find people who like it in the wild. Because then I can actually, like, talk to them about, like, the new stuff that comes out. Like I said, I'm not really ashamed of it now, but I was. Just because middle school kids are stupid. Once again. I want to be able to make, docs for people to, you know... Sort of. I have basically one person besides my brothers that I can talk to about it. But I am in the subreddit, so I guess that's as close as I can get. And I mean, I'm in one of the Discords too. I just don't talk there because it's really big, and I don't typically talk in really big Discords. Notice, like, I will talk in some of the smaller spaces in the Tinkbit server, but then I'm not like super active in any of the more public chats. Just for the simple fact that I get anxious, so. Here's one. I have a feeling some of you it might be a little obvious. Like your answer is going to be pretty obvious. Did I ask the question already? I don't remember. I zoned way out for a second because I was trying to figure out a block for... if you could have a conversation with anybody in history, who would it be and why? Or who would be you, and what would you ask them? Sorry. I'm not really sure what my answer would be to this one. I mean, like I said, I think for a couple of you it's gonna be kind of obvious as to who you would. Just because, in fact, I do know some of you pretty well. Which is fair, like I said, I really don't know either. I just figured it was a good question. That works. Uh, uh... Here's another existential one, I guess. Oops. Wrong way. What would be the biggest compliment someone could give you? I haven't either. Sure. Um, that's a decent question. Well, cause see, the thing about saying favorite way to eat eggs would be implying that you're talking about what is your favorite egg dish, which would imply that you eating eggs would be the egg's primary ingredient. That would be the primary ingredient that you would be using in your eggs. So anything that uses eggs as a secondary or tertiary or whatever type of ingredient would not count. Because that would be saying, like, what's your best way to drink milk? And would, see, what is milk put in? What is in, and would drinking coffee with milk in it would that count? Like, it wouldn't, because you would be drinking coffee. But it's also not the final product, because, like, it would count in something like omelets, because omelet is the dish. If it isn't like a specific egg dish that you're making, then it probably would not count. Because the end product is not an egg dish, it's just a dish. Because an omelet is the main ingredient that you're using, an omelet is the dish you're eating. It's also kind of like saying, like, what's your favorite way to eat, what's your favorite way to eat salad? And then you would say, oh, I like this lettuce in a taco. But it wouldn't count, because the taco is not it's not a salad. It's not primarily there for lettuce, even though you would put a lot of lettuce on a taco, so it wouldn't really count. I'm not sure if I like that or not. But if you're talking about, like, egg dish, then I take mine scrambled with lots and lots of salt, so I can't taste the egg. Like, salt and pepper. Actually, more pepper than salt, if we're being honest. Now that I think about it, I'm like, yeah, no, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Anyway, hi Indigo, how you doing? I'm in BC if you're interested.
Greetings, programs!
Really? Oh yeah, I'm working on the outside of Sunnycorp right now. You're like... this kind of baked? I got a question. Not so much a question as it is a, if you wouldn't mind. Share. So, I got a follow-up question. Wouldn't it be funny if you joined the call? Uh-huh. I think it would be pretty funny if you joined the call. Yes. Well, I invited you when you first came in, and then you said you were baked, so I'm like, was that a no? You're good. You're just in time, too. We've been doing existential... I was gonna say exponential. Existential, questions. We've been doing an existential Q&A today. So it's been interesting. Howdy.
That sounds fun.
Howdy. do. Yeah. I've been going through some prompts, some conversation prompts that I find online.
Ah.
It's led us to some pretty good stories.
So, I may have taken too many edibles.
Too many what?
Edibles.
Bro, share. Give me.
It's like, I want the deets.
How you feeling right now?
Oh no, this is not good. This is not good. I'll be doing this all night now. Oh.
Oh no.
Yeah, I could not get to sleep. I had to go out and work again yesterday. I was already hurting from having to do that for one day. So I was in just miserable shape and nothing was working. And I was like, I'm gonna take one of my edibles. And only avoid them because they really mess with me.
Yeah.
Like I don't remember starting this conversation. What were we talking about?
Well, oh, damn it, this isn't... Hold on. I could find a different, sapling. Let me test this one. Does that one go all the way up? No, it does not. Shit. Okay. I gotta actually figure this out.
No worries.
We were going through... Oh, I think that one might work, actually. But I gotta actually get to a position to... Damn it! No, it does not. Okay. I gotta... Okay, you can answer one of the first existential questions that we had. What is
Okay,
your favorite part about being alive?
I would have to say cognitive.
Sorry, what?
I started cognitive. What was that?
I didn't hear your answer.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I don't remember what I answered, so I don't remember what the question was. Oh, oh, and then I remember you asked me what my favorite part about being alive.
Mm-hmm.
And after cognating for a while, I said cognating. That is not the right answer.
I'm kind of having a hard time hearing you, bud.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know what to do. It's that same stupid problem I keep having. If I need a new headset. Okay, is that any better at all?
A little bit, I think.
That's probably about the best I can do.
Yeah, I think that is better. I can understand you a little bit.
Okay, well that's something at least.
Yeah.
Because I'm having trouble understanding you right now, so good on you.
Nerd said food.
Food?
Food is pretty good.
I agree. I'm a big fan.
And I love how this foliage, there's like no color, it's literally just green. It's a way of being creepily monochromatic, like the whole place is, even when it's a little bit of a color, you know?
Yes.
Alright, I think I had said, like, I like being able to see a lot of color, even though I like wearing black and my favorite color is white. I still like being able to see all the colors and everything. I like being able to see the sky. I like being able to make some sort of a difference in people's lives.
Mm-hmm.
Also, food is pretty bug.
That is true.
Wait a minute.
Okay, I'm waiting.
Hold on. Try something else. As... I like that better. There we go.
That looks good. That looks good.
There we go. I want it to be really, really minimal. Because it's vegetation. Which means it's life. which means Hikari is allergic to it.
That would be a very annoying allergy.
I know, right? Uh-oh. I accidentally triggered my shaders.
Uh-oh.
I mean, I guess it works? There we go. Now it looks more like a garden. It's so bad. It's so... It's so Hikari. Oh, that actually ended up being perfect. I didn't even plan that. Nice. Here we go. Got some windows going for the showroom. Oh my god, it's perfect on the other side too, what the hell? Bruh. This actually turned out to be perfect. Perfect on the inside and the outside. Wow. That's awesome. I need my frames back. There we go. Like, shaders are pretty and all, but I need to be able to figure out what's going on with my frames before I keep using them on stream again. Okay. One of them that sparked a lot of story earlier was, what's your favorite place that you went to, that you've gone to? Are you good? Are you alive?
Hello.
What's up?
And sorry about that. I got distracted a couple of times.
You're good.
Fucking balls. Are we redecorating?
Yeah. Trying to... Trying to make it very, very soulless.
That is a tough one.
Like, it's supposed to look very, it's supposed to look very, very corporate.
Yeah. I got you. Like your stereotypical evil corporation,
Mm-hmm.
which I guess this kind of is. Pretty stereotypical.
Yeah, a little bit.
Hey, the tropes for a reason. Oh, yeah. Oh. I was sitting there trying to remember what I just said. And then I started trying to remember why I was trying to remember what I just said. And I got so distracted by that, I forgot what I said.
Looks neat from the inside. But I have to play around with it a little more for the rest of the outside of this. But I think it looks somewhat like, you know, it looks like what it's supposed to look like. It's supposed to be a showroom for merchandise. Like the stuff that's made in the factory. This is the public place where people come to see what we've got and then they buy it. So it's supposed to look professional. It's supposed to be very public facing. Especially since human rights are being violated right past these doors. Woohoo!
Like all of them.
I should put a sign that says no human rights being violated here. Mm-mm. No, sir.
Yes.
I feel like there should be more security between the showroom and this, but like from inside the factory. Yeah. Got it. Alright, so the person that's in charge of keeping the inmates in, it's gonna say it right here. Well, inmates, workers, slaves, whatever you want to call them. It's gonna say it right here, and then press the button to let whoever in and out. And then they have to go through this. Like, hold on, let me actually get this built. They have to go through this little metal detector that, you know, scans them for validation. May actually be better to do a white one. Yeah, white one actually might be better. Yeah, there we go. Alrighty. Sounds good. Looks like an absolute mess.
I should be back. I think.
You really can't get in and out of this way, you have to go a different way. Take a drink real quick. Here's one for you. I have one that we were gonna answer, but the nerd had to go, and I couldn't really think of an answer to it, at least not immediately.
Okay.
What is the biggest compliment anyone could give you? Told you these were existential.
That very easy to call them. It's such a huge potential space. I know. Um, I completely forgot what I was trying to remember. Oh my god, I hate Houston. I don't, I love it, but I hate, you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
You had asked me what was the percent benefit. Not a big fan of that.
What?
Yeah. Like you give me more soulless and factory all the time. Apparently you are good at the whole soulless corporation fashion style, what's it called? Thingy.
Oh, yeah.
Look, aesthetic. There we go. Aesthetic. That's the word I was looking for.
Someone complimenting your aesthetic?
I was what? No, I was. Pardon me. I don't know what that was. Um, this is why it is so hard for me to talk to other people when I'm still.
I have a headcanon that Hikari hates listening to music because it can bring you joy.
I would definitely support that. That's good.
I mean... I mean...
It's 100% true.
Like, she would not listen to music because it brings people joy.
I totally buy that.
There's my Ko-Fi bot.
I feel like Hikari is what you get if someone sets out
When someone what?
to. I lost completely where I was going with that.
Sorry.
No, that's not your fault. That's my brain.
She's what you get. Hikari is what you get when you...
Sorry, I remember. Well, I don't exactly remember, but basically it was to the effect when you don't accidentally end up there, but literally set out to become a heinous bitch.
Damn.
And then I remember, oh wait, she did.
I need Ember to hurry up and get in here so that way he can get on so that way he can actually finish the factory line. Because I told him to do it before, and he's like, yeah, and he just hasn't.
That is a common issue.
Sorry?
with guys in general. I said that is a common issue with guys in general, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, they literally cannot get out of here. Honestly, why is there an entrance directly to the factory line? There shouldn't be an entrance directly in the factory. There we go. Actually, I'm gonna keep this here on second thought, but there we go. There are doors there, but I've just boarded them up. They can't leave out these doors. These doors go directly outside.
Oh yeah, no, that's not good. That's not a good thing to have a pick, even though that's just slaves in there. Hmm.
For whatever reason, if you break a shelf with a button in it, it gives you 64.
Wait, what? It gives you a whole stack of buttons?
Yep. I'm in creative, but, like, still.
Oh.
Ooh, I got an idea. There we go. Totally not a door. Yeah, there's literally no way to get out of here now. At least not directly from the factory. The warehouse has a door, and it's also got the loading docks. But anybody who works in the warehouse is chained down anyway, so.
Yeah, that was to say, but they have tightly restricted access for screening. But they can do that.
How many spiders in warehouses?
Mhm.
Just killed 4. Apparently there is also zombies.
Or have zombies. I don't know how that is.
What's in the zombie's head? In their head, my sword.
That was cute.
It's easy for somebody to get murder into their head whenever that's literally how they've been killed.
I would agree with you.
Because murder is literally in their head. Alright. Doing really, really well. Okay, so the server room is complete. Lots of computers. Lots of computers.
It's really so sad.
I've gotten a grand total of 1 shelf done.
Shell.
Out of a lot of shelves. But I did do the docking doors. The loading decks.
Nice. It's very convincing. You're doing a smashing job of this. Thank you. One of those.
Here we go. Repaired all the iron golems. They fight magma cubes all day and night.
Oh,
So
yeah, even for metal golem, it's gonna wear you down physically. Well, like
yeah.
molecular.
I really should do an access to the I need an access to their dorms. Like, I need to actually make their living quarters. Okay, stuff that still needs to be completed. The inventory, the warehouse inventory. The showroom. The outside walls. The factory roof. Her tower. The corporate building. and the workers' living quarters. That's what still needs to be done.
Oh. I mean, compared to like building 500,000 block bridges.
I may be halfway or less. Because the outside doors, or the outside walls are going to take so long.
Mm,
Like, I know kind of what I want to do.
kinda.
Yeah. Because I want the concrete to be concrete, but also some of it's, like, painted over brick. So it's like, I want to have, like, patches where you can see some of the regular brick shining through.
Gotcha.
Still love that they get, like, no sunlight through here. Except from up there. But that's also up there and it's not staying, so. Oh, and I need to finish the top of the factory room. I need to put, like, lighting in. And then Ember needs to get in here and finish the factory, like the actual factory. And then we need to, like, actually finish Sonicorp. We need to put more of those patches all around here. And then fill in the rest of the biome. I think that's what I need to do next time I'm on, is I need to fill in the rest of the biome so that way it's not just one part of it being the nether. So that way there's soot everywhere. It's just a chicken out here. Alright. Oh, hello, Wolfie, my love. How are you? Okay. I'm honestly, though, not sure how... I will hydrate a second. I'm not sure how much longer I'm gonna stay on. Because I'm just...
This is what I'm talking about.
Oh. Good, good. It's a good thing you're keeping it clean. There we go. Here we go. Bet. There we go. Main factory, power plant, and the showroom, but except you can't go to the showroom, haha. There's the power plant. Workers caught trying to enter will be terminated.
They don't mean by. Well, they might mean fired depending on the type of fired.
There we go. Yeah, I know how that is, Wolfie. Okay. Here, catching you up, Wolfie. So we've added this to the door of the showroom. We've added these around the doors. We've boarded up the actual doors. I've got this open just so that way I can come in and out of here while I'm building. We've completed a grand total of 1 shelf in here. We started adding more, but we got bored. We've also done the front of the showroom. Like the whole area around the front of the showroom. We've designed a fence to put all around the borders. And we've finally closed in the roof of these. So none of this on this side of the building, like none of this, or this was closed in. So we finally put a roof on the remainder of the area. Just a moment, folks.
Nice.
Right. I've have a little bit of a personal emergency going on. I will be right back.
No worries. Leave it
Alright, I'm returned. So interesting unfortunate development.
I don't like the sound of that.
I guess I can add that to. Okay. How am I? So, might be TMI. But you guys just got to hear me start my cycle on stream. Fun times. Okay. Anyway. So we've actually done a lot today to the all right.
Tinkle.
That was unfortunate. Let's just say I am freaking lucky that my chair is not white. I do not like my body at all. I need to, yeah. Okay. What is it I was gonna do? Oh, we were gonna fill the biome into the other spots of the... Okay. We need to figure out this unfortunate shape. So I'd like to do a big circular... Big circular thing, but the thing is, I don't know. I wonder if that's any better. I don't even... This isn't even, is it? Bro, this isn't even. That's okay, yeah, that makes sense. That's why it looks so bad, is because it's not even. But also because I don't like the shape. So I need to do a circle. Okay. I need to find my circle diagram. Where are my Minecraft diagrams?
It's not fair.
Okay.
Not finding it.
Oh, there we go.
Found it?
Yeah, but my phone's dying. I gotta plug it in. Did I do with it? I had a C charger up here specifically for my phone. No, it's disappeared. C chargers in this house like to disappear.
High demand, low supply.
I'm just somewhat lucky that I'm the only one that uses an iPhone Lightning charger. Because I know no one's gonna steal it. Like,
Legit.
I have an older iPhone model. So yeah, because the newer ones use Type-C. Anyway, I'm gonna have to work on the shape of this later because my phone does not have enough charge for me to pull up the picture for it. Okay, so let me actually make a list of everything I do still have to do.
Excuse me.
Do.
I'm fixing to fall back asleep.
I think that's all I can come up with for now. There's a to-do list for everything we need to do for the thing. By the way, if anybody is in the MSMP and has any sort of experience with building whatsoever, or can at least copy something, be my guest. I need help. I can't do this by myself. I'm gonna drive myself nuts. Oh. You know you're in the call, right?
Yeah, but my mic is muted. Wait. Did I just say my mic is muted? I can't figure out how to fix my mic.
Okay. So I think that's probably as much as I'm gonna build tonight. I might go ahead and end a little bit early. Alright, so I think I'm gonna at least end stream here. We are both welcome to stay on because I wanna trying to yeah. Why aren't you doing your job, sir? Oh, he can't get to them, that's why. We need to put the oh, 1 second. Alright, back. We need to I'll talk to Ember about having them put in the floor. Like the lighting, having the lighting put in the floor, cause yeah. By the way, Indigo, if you ever want to do lore on days that aren't Sunday, we can do lore on days that aren't Sunday, just let me know. More often than not, if I'm not doing something, then I'll be down. Yeah. Like, it does not have to be a Sunday, it's just Sunday is the designated day. That makes it easier for people to coordinate, but they can do lore not on Sunday, and they don't have to do lore on Sunday. It's just a, hey, you want to do it next lore day? Sure. And that's just one that they keep relatively, like, one that they keep in mind that, like, hey, people might be on to do lore, so I might be on too, you know? It's just a general coordination day. Yoink. Except I'm getting ready to trash it anyway because I'm in creative mode. It looks so bare like this. I'm fighting the urge to add more color, but I can't because I know colorless is how Hikari would like it. It looks so bad without color. But it's supposed to. It's supposed to look soulless. And it is.
You have achieved that effect, yes.
What is this? Natural submarines. That actually looks really neat. I need to figure out about all that up there though, because it's also bare. Maybe I'll put, like, maybe I'll spell out Sonny up there. Like, okay. I'm not gonna keep it like this, but like if I did. It's actually really good placement. Why has everything been so perfect on this today? That's actually insanely good placement. I might actually keep the shape and just change the block. It's definitely not keeping the block. I just was trying to get a general idea and it ended up being perfect. Why is it perfect? That's not fair. God. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and end stream. Thanks everyone for watching, and thanks everybody who participated in our riveting questions and conversation earlier, and for being patient a little bit later. I would like to be live maybe tomorrow. I'm not sure. I'm not sure when the next time I'm gonna be live is. I definitely would like to do more lore with Indigo, of course. I'd like to do more lore with everybody, but I've been brainstorming about hours, so. But yeah, so I think this is probably where I'm gonna leave it, so. Alright, well, thank you everyone so much, and I will see you on the next stream. Bye!